There are moments in life when you can sense change in the air. It's like you're standing at the edge of a new chapter, but you don't quite know the plot yet. For a woman walking closely with God, these moments are not random. They are divine preparations. When God is about to bless you with something, but rarely happens without warning. The signs are subtle yet undeniable. In this message, we'll uncover 7 Cleveland as that heaven is aligning something extraordinary for you. There are seasons in life when you can't quite explain what's going on inside you, but you know something is different. It's not anxiety and it's not boredom. Both unsettling and exciting. You go about your daily life, same routines, same people, same responsibilities. But deep down, there's this quiet sense that something is shifting. You might catch yourself looking out the window longer than usual, daydreaming about possibilities that didn't cross your mind before. You start to feel like you're being gently pushed forward, even if you don't yet know where you're headed. This isn't just random emotion. Often, this kind of restlessness is God stirring your spirit. It's His way of preparing you for what's next. Think about it. If you were too comfortable where you are, you'd have no reason to move. You'd stay in the same place, doing the same things, maybe even missing out on what He's trying to bring into your life. That unease you feel. It's a sign you find that the things that once satisfied you don't feel you the same way anymore. Activities you used to look forward to now feel routine. Conversations that once engaged you now feel shallow. You're craving depth. Even if you can't quite put that craving into words, it's like your spirit is leaning forward towards something unseen. And here's the thing, God often stirs this feeling before you see any evidence of change. Before He delivers the blessing, that restlessness is not there to frustrate you. It's there to wake you up. It makes you pay attention. It opens your heart, and it puts you in a position to notice opportunities you would have otherwise overlooked. Some women mistake this restlessness as a sign they're doing something wrong, but in reality, it can mean you're exactly where you're supposed to be. It's not punishment, it's preparation. You're being prepared for a bigger table, a higher calling, a deeper joy. God is quietly adjusting your vision so you can see beyond the walls you've been living within. During this time, you might feel torn between gratitude for what you have and hunger for what's next. That's a good place to be. Gratitude keeps your heart humble, and hunger keeps your spirit moving together. You stay ready for God's timing. So if you're feeling restless right now, if you sense something is off, but also on the verge, pay attention. Don't rush to fit the random decisions or force your way into the next thing. Instead, lean into prayer, stay open, and let that restlessness do its work. It's a sign that powering the ground for something you haven't even imagined yet, something worth the wait. Sometimes, when God is getting ready to bless you, the first thing you notice isn't an open door, it's a closed one. And not just any closed door, but the kind you were sure would lead to something good. It could be a job you thought was perfect, a relationship you were certain was to last, or an opportunity that looked like the answer to your prayers. Then suddenly, it's gone. No warning. No explanation, sense in the moment, just shut. At first, it feels like loss. You might replay events in your mind, trying to figure out what went wrong or what you could have done differently. But here's the truth when you're walking with God. Closed doors are about rejection. They're about redirection. He sees things you can't see yet. He knows when something looks good on the outside but doesn't hold what you truly need on the inside. It's like a parent steering a child away from touching a hot stove. The child my parent is withholding something fun or interesting, but the parent knows the danger the child can't see. That's how God works with us. Those closed doors aren't Him punishing you. They're Him protecting you. And here's something to accept in the moment. Sometimes the doors that close are the very ones you prayed for. You asked for guidance, for the right path, for His will to be done. Closing that door is part of the answer. It's His way of saying, I heard you. When this happens, it's easy to get stuck staring at the door, hoping it will open again. You keep checking the handle, waiting for a sign, wishing things would go back to how they were. But here's the thing. If you stay focused on the door God has shut, He's quietly opening somewhere else. Sometimes those closed doors come in rapid succession. You think you've found the next step, and then that path is blocked too. It can feel like everything is falling apart, but in reality, things are falling into place. The closest is God narrowing your options so you don't wander off into places that would slow you down or harm you. If you look back over your life, you can probably think of a few closed doors that ended up being blessings in disguise. Maybe you didn't get that job, or that fit your skills and purpose even better. Maybe that relationship ended, but it made space for someone who truly cherishes and respects you. So when a door closes unexpectedly, try to see it through the lens of faith. Trust that God is taking something from you. He used to leave you empty. He's clearing the way for He's already prepared. And if the door feels heavy as it shuts, remember this: heavy doors often guard valuable rooms. When God is about to bless you with something big, not by your life at just the right time, not by coincidence. These are divine connections, people whose presence shifts your perspective, encourages your spirit, and aligns with the direction He's taking you. They may come as mentors, friends, partners, encounters that leave a lasting impact. You'll know these connections are from God because of how they make you feel. There's a sense of ease, of being understood without having to explain every detail. They push you toward growth, not out of pressure, but out of genuine faith in your potential. Conversations with them leave you feeling lighter, clearer, and more motivated. They might challenge you, but their challenges come from a place of love, not ego. Sometimes these connections show up when you least expect them. You could be sitting next to a stranger, on through a friend of a friend, or crossing paths with a colleague you never noticed before. In the moment, it may seem ordinary, but looking back, you realize it was perfectly timed. That's how God works quietly, weaving the right people into your story, and divine connections aren't always about bringing something to you. Sometimes they're about bringing something out of you. You might meet someone who needs your encouragement, your wisdom, or your skills. You discover new strengths in yourself and step into roles you didn't see coming. God uses these relationships to shape both sides, creating mutual blessings. It's also worth noting that divine connections often come after a season of separation. God may have removed certain people to make room for the ones who truly belong in your next chapter. This can feel lonely at first, but it's part of the process. The right people can enter if the wrong people are still taking up space. These connections may also open doors you couldn't open on your own. Maybe someone introduces you to an opportunity, shares knowledge you've been searching for, or stands with you in a moment of doubt. They don't always realize how significant their role is. They're just being themselves. But God is using them as a bridge between where you are and where He's taking you. Pay attention to the people who make your spirit feel at peace, the ones who speak life into dreams, and the ones who show up without you having to chase them. These aren't just friendly faces. They're part of the divine strategy for your life. When God wants to bless you, He often sends the blessing in the form of a person. I mean, it won't feel forced or manufactured. It will feel natural, like they were meant to be there all along, because in His plan they were. When God is preparing to bless you in a big way, your awareness of His presence often becomes sharper. Things you used to overlook suddenly feel significant. You notice patterns, subtle nudges, and quiet whispers in your spirit that you didn't pay attention to before. It's like someone turned up the volume on your inner guidance, and you can hear Him more clearly than you ever have. This increased sensitivity isn't about hearing an audible voice. It's about tuning into those moments when something in your heart says, pay attention. You might find yourself feeling drawn to read a certain scripture, listen to a specific message, or take it ends up being exactly what you needed to do. It's not coincidence, it's God guiding you step by step. During this time, you might also notice a stronger conviction about certain things. The places, habits, or conversations that once felt fine may now feel heavy or distracting. Your spirit becomes quicker to sense what aligns with your purpose and what doesn't. It's not about becoming judgmental, it's about becoming protective of the atmosphere around you. God is your discernment so you can handle what He's about to give you. This sensitivity can also show up as a deeper hunger for prayer or time in His presence. You may wake up earlier than usual, feeling the need to spend quiet moments with Him. You may start to crave for noise and truth over empty words. These aren't random mood shifts. They're signs that your spirit is preparing to receive something new, and it needs clarity to hold it. Notice how quickly you pick up on spiritual encouragement or warning through others. A conversation with a friend, a sermon, or even a simple line in a book might feel like it's speaking directly to you. That's because you're more in tune with God's ways of getting your attention. When your spiritual ears are open, everyday moments become messages. This heightened awareness isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it means you'll feel things others don't. You might sense heaviness in a situation that seems fine on the surface, or you might feel joy before the blessing even arrives. It can be strange to navigate, especially if people around you don't understand it. But that's okay. This isn't about them. It's about you and your walk with God. When you become more spiritually sensitive, you're better equipped to recognize the path He's laying out for you. You don't need all the details, you just need to follow the promptings. You can't see the entire road, but the headlights show you enough to keep going. That's what increased spiritual sensitivity does. When the blessing finally arrives, you'll look back and realize God was speaking to you all along. You just had to be in that stillness. You were being prepared to step into something far greater than you imagined. When God is getting ready to bring something big into your life, there's almost always a waiting period. And that waiting isn't empty time. It's a test of your patience, a test of your faith. It's not because God enjoys making you wait, but because what He's preparing requires you to be strong enough to carry it once it arrives. In these moments, you may feel like nothing is happening. You pray, you trust, you do your best, and yet the breakthrough you're expecting seems far away. This is where impatience creeps in. You might feel tempted to force it to happen on your own or settle for something smaller just to fill the silence. But here's the thing. Patience isn't just about waiting, it's about how you wait. God uses delays to refine your character. Waiting builds resilience. It teaches you how to keep showing up even when you don't see results. It develops the kind of faith that isn't dependent on immediate evidence. Because once the blessing comes, you'll need that same steady faith to sustain it. Faith in these is trusting what you can't see. It's choosing to believe that God is working behind the scenes even when the stage looks empty. Sometimes it's as simple as saying, I don't understand, but I trust you. Those words, spoken sincerely, are powerful because they shift your focus from the problem to the one who holds the solution. Tests of patience and faith can also feel uncomfortable because they stretch you beyond your limits. You may face challenges that seem you're the blessing. You're waiting for financial pressures, relationship tensions, unexpected setbacks. But in God's design, these are all part of the preparation. They're shaping your mindset, deepening your dependence on Him. The truth is, blessings carry weight. They're not just gifts, they're responsibilities. And if you receive them too soon, they can overwhelm you. That's why God often holds back the timing, not to punish you, but to protect you. When the blessed, you'll have the patience to nurture it and the faith to guard it. During these tests, it's important to remember that faith isn't just about believing in the good times. It's proven in the moments when you feel weary, when your prayers feel unanswered. Every time you choose to trust instead of panic, you're passing the test. So if you find yourself in a long season of waiting, don't assume you've been forgotten. You haven't. The delay is intentional. The test is purposeful. And when God finally delivers what you've been waiting for, it will not only meet your expectations, it will make the wait worth it. Because by then, you won't just have the blessing. You'll have the strength, wisdom, and faith to hold it well. That God is about to bless you is the peace you feel in situations that used to shake you. It's not that your circumstances suddenly make sense or that all your questions are answered. The peace comes even while things remain unclear. It's the calm that can't be explained logically. It comes from knowing deep down that God is in control, even if you don't see how it will all work out. This peace doesn't mean you stop caring or that you've lost interest in the outcome. It means you've stopped striving to control what isn't yours to control. You've released the weight into God's hands, and you've chosen to trust His timing over your own. That's when the anxiety that used to keep you up at night starts to fade. You still have challenges. The Bible talks about a peace that passes all understanding, and that's exactly what this feels like. People around you might look at your situation and wonder why you're not panicking. They might expect you to be stressed, frustrated, or restless, but instead you're not pretending everything is fine. You genuinely feel anchored in something greater than the problem. This kind of peace often shows up after you've gone through the earlier signs, the restlessness, the closed doors, the divine connections, the tests of faith. It's like a quiet confirmation from God that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You may not see the blessing yet, but your spirit already knows it's on the way. It's important to note that this peace isn't passive and doing nothing. It's active trust. You're still making wise decisions, still moving forward, but without the frantic energy of trying to force outcomes. You're living from a place of confidence that God's hand is guiding your steps. This inner peace often prepares you for the very blessing you're waiting for. When big opportunities or changes come, they can be overwhelming. But if you've learned to stay calm in uncertainty, you'll be able to handle the new season with grace. You're thrown off by unexpected turns because you've already learned that peace isn't found in perfect circumstances, it's found in God's presence. This peace also acts as a filter. It helps you recognize what's truly from God and what's not. If something disrupts your peace in a way that doesn't align with His truth, you know to pause and seek His guidance before moving forward. It keeps you from rushing into distractions disguised as blessings. So if you're in a season where life feels uncertain, but your heart feels still pay attention, that's not ordinary. That's God's peace, a sign that you're standing on holy ground, even if it looks like ordinary soil. The blessing may not be visible yet, but your spirit already knows it's near. When God is to bless a woman with something big, it's rarely random and never rushed. The restlessness, the closed doors, the divine connections, the heightened spiritual awareness, the tests of patience and faith, and the unshakable pieces of the same picture. Each sign is a thread He's weaving together to prepare you, shape you, and position you for what's next. The blessing isn't just about what you're going to receive, it's about who you're becoming in the process. Because when the moment finally comes, it won't just be an answered prayer. It will be the evidence of a God who saw you, guided you, and carried you every step of the way. And when it happens, you won't just be ready for it, you'll be able to hold it well, knowing it came at the exact right time.